Replicon Radio is brought to you in part by Lex the Hexmaster and the Shadow Army.
Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, we are back.
We're live. Still
Hello.
live, still kicking it.
That's right, man. There's a new YouTube stream up if you guys are out there.
You know because you've clicked on it.
Yeah. Share it out. Let the people know, man, because we're about to get into it. We got, every week we have special guests.
And we even had a +1 this week.
That's right. We got all kinds of shit going on. So let's just go ahead. Let's hop on into it, man. We do have live on the line Adam and Chucky of the Dropout Kings.
Yeah.
What's up? Yo.
Yo. What up, y'all?
How's it going? Thanks for having us. For sure.
Oh, thanks for coming on, man. Hanging out. We're excited to have you, man. We're pumped to get to know about you guys. You guys are you're hot right now, man. People are talking. The world wants to know more about the band, man. So that's what we're.
Hell yeah, appreciate you.
Hell yeah.
I would love to share what I know. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, let's just jump on into it, man. Essentially, like I said, we like to go back, man. We want to get to know people. Obviously, we'll talk about all the things happening currently, but I want to know kind of how it got started. I know Adam, you were in a few other bands and different things like that. What kind of started you? Just as a kid, into music in general, were you a big fan of hip hop, or you a rock guy, and what kind of led you into wanting to be an artist? How did that kind of?
Yeah, it's weird because I was really into both. Honestly, I liked rap a lot. I liked metal a lot too. So some of the first CDs I had were all either rap albums or metal albums, and depending on what mood I was in, but I would just, fuck with both. And then pretty much after that, I went and just, was really into both of those things. And then at 12 years old, my uncle and my dad took me to my first concert. And then we kind of just, I was Slipknot, Shadows Fall, and Lamb of God. And it was so crazy to be 12 and be there. And
right.
At that moment, I pretty much knew I was I really want to do music for the rest of my life. And, I would envision myself as a kid, just being on stage and performing and stuff. And that's kind of what, led me into, and I wasn't really, good at things, when I was a kid. I wasn't really, athletic or anything. So I kind of I liked music. I wasn't into superheroes. I wasn't into, a lot of stuff, but I was into music. And kind of just, tried to get better at different things and kind of just found my way, went through a bunch of different bands. And then at the tail end of a couple of the other of the last bands I was in before Dropout Kings, I was look, I don't know if this stuff is working out really, and I want to stay relevant and in the music scene. So I tried to do some covers. And then, I had this idea of doing a Linkin Park cover. And then I was I want a cool rapper to do, Mike Shinoda's parts. And I found Eddie on, a AZ Underdog Cypher video. So it's just, a bunch of local rappers, just freestyling. And I saw Eddie on there, and I'm this is the guy that I need. So I hit him up, and then his manager responded, who's actually, our manager now, Larry. And yeah, man, he was yeah, he's down, let's do it. And we did the cover, and it did well, and we put it out on YouTube and stuff. And then I was pretty much let's make a band out of this. And then we did, and we made a few songs. And then 6 months into being a band, we played 3 back-to-back sold-out shows, got a record deal, and pretty much it's been going crazy since then.
That's crazy, but that's fucking wild. But it's awesome. So essentially, the band started because of a Linkin Park cover song.
Legitimately did, yeah. And it's weird too because our biggest song to this day was the first song we ever wrote as a band, and it was Scratch and Claw. And it's probably the closest thing that we have to Linkin Park type of song besides Virus. But yeah, and it's still, one of the biggest, it is the biggest song that we have. And it was the first thing we ever did, so it's just like crazy. But yeah, it all started from a Linkin Park cover.
Wild,
Yeah, we're allowed to cuss, right?
Yeah,
I gotta ask.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
I said fuck earlier, and I'm like, oh no, I didn't mean to do that.
No, you can say whatever the fuck you want, bro.
All right, cool.
we I would say do it extra, just cause.
Okay.
Are we out of the first 5 minutes yet? Jesus.
No, we're not.
Oh, all right, there goes that one.
But, no, hell yeah. There he is. Our buddy's back. And you guys are all from the Phoenix area, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So like.
Yeah, there's a couple of us that like. Well, technically, Rob, our bass player, was born in Michigan. So he still lives there, and then our guitarist Stage moved there for a while. So we're kind of split up right now, but yeah, for the most part, we're all in Arizona.
So like growing up, like I know like your previous bands was what or at least the one that people list is like the Bad Chapter. Like what was that? What's that style? Like how was the like sound progress? Like how you were just like a singer in just a standard rock band before the Linkin Park cover, right?
Yeah. It was. Yeah, I was in this other band called We the Collectors, which was like how I met Chucky, actually. And we kind of did our thing for a couple years and then kind of just petered out. And then I got in that band, The Bad Chapter, and that actually pretty much everyone from The Bad Chapter is in Dropout Kings. So like we pretty much took the remnants of like that band and like turned it into Dropout Kings, and then found like Eddie and Joe, our drummer. But yeah, so it was way different because it was kind of like that band Issues, like the Bad Chapter was. So it was like all these crazy ass singing parts and like all these crazy scream parts, and it was honestly probably like my first real like push into like an actual like music career outside of the local scene. It was like the first band I did like a real tour with and stuff, so it was a big shove into, you know, like what could happen potentially. So yeah, it was way different, but it was like a really cool experience. It's kind of, I would call it like metalcore, you know. I would probably call it that more than anything, but it was definitely a fun project. Like I miss playing some of those songs live. It was definitely fun.
Oh yeah. So then you guys, I guess officially Dropout Kings, you guys formed in what, 2016?
Yeah, we did actually. You did your research. Yeah, we formed in 2016, and we pretty much played a couple shows, like dropped a couple of songs DIY, and then we got that deal from Napalm, and then we started working on the record, and then we put out our first record in 2018 with Napalm. But yeah, we've been together since 2016. And
when you guys formed, you were originally called the Phoenix Down, and then what brought on the name change?
Yeah, so that's like a funny story. Yeah, we call ourselves Phoenix Down because I'm like a big Final Fantasy person, and like I thought it was perfect because like Phoenix Down, and like we're from Phoenix, and you know, blah blah. So we kind of rocked that name for a while. And then when we got the deal from Napalm, they said that there was like a band that had that name already. And they're like super, super small and like never even, I don't even think they played a show ever. But we hit them up and we're like, hey, can we use the name, blah, blah. And like they never said anything back. So the label's like, hey, like I think you should probably change the name. So we were like, fuck, okay. And then, so I remember like we came up, we were like thinking like Dropout something, Dropout Season.
Yeah, Dropout Season.
Yeah, it was like one of the things we landed on. And then the label was like, what about Dropout Kings? And like we fucking hated it. When we first heard it, we were like, nah. And then after a while, it just kind of, they're like, just trust us. Like we think it's sick and like blah, blah, like it's definitely going to work. And I was like, all right, for sure. Like, I'll trust you guys on this. And then eventually, like, we kind of came around and I mean, dude, I couldn't even imagine it any other way, bro. Like, now, it's crazy the fact we fucking hated it at one point.
Right.
It's funny, you know? Now I'm like, I couldn't see it any other way.
Hell yeah. No, that's dope. So you guys are brand new, 2016. You did, like, what, a handful of shows, like, nothing too crazy? How did you end up linking up with Napalm? Like, how did that happen, like, so quickly? Like,
yeah, it was so, like, our manager in the bad chapter, his name is Chris, and it was funny because, so I sent him some demos of what we were working on. It was like 3 or 4 songs, maybe it was 5. It was been between 3 and 5 songs, but I sent them to him, and he was like, because I wanted him to work, like, we didn't end on the best terms in the bad chapter thing, but I wanted to kind of like reconcile it because it wasn't really my fault, and like I wanted to like kind of just show him like I still wanted to work with him, and like so I sent him those songs, and then he was like, damn, these are dope, like let's try to do something. And it was weird, like a few weeks later he had just randomly shopped out those songs to a few like connections he had, and this guy Dimitri hits him back, and he was actually an A&R for Napalm. And it was funny though, because Chris told me, he's like, dude, this guy never even gives me the time of day, like, and he like never talks to me, never responds to me, but he's like the man. But he calls me at 2 a.m. and was like, dude, this band, you need to like fucking sign them right now before someone takes them, and like blah blah blah. And then, I mean, like, it's weird because sometimes in the industry you start like getting in the mix, and like some people just blow like hella smoke up your ass. So like I kind of took it with a grain of salt, and I'm like, okay, blah blah. And then, I mean, like a couple of weeks later, there was an actual deal on the table from Napalm, and it was like a pretty good sized deal for only being a band for like 6 months before then, like a real band, you know, like. So yeah, and that was pretty much the story of how that happened. And then yeah, we kind of just signed the deal and did our thing.
That's so dope. So yeah, it was, I guess it was April 2018 you signed a deal, and then in June you guys dropped your debut album, Audio Dope, and you guys hit the freaking Billboard charts with your debut independent album. Like, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah, it is pretty fucking crazy, man. Like, it didn't feel real for sure. It was one of those things where it's like you hope it happens, but I mean, it was pretty insane to like see it and it actually be a thing.
That's wild, man. So that happened. All this shit's going on. Then you guys go out on tour. You're out there with OTEP. Like what was life like then? Like, was it you guys were just? I mean, everything's just going crazy, I would guess. Like all this.
Yeah, it was pretty surreal, dude. It was like definitely an adjustment, like just trying to be on tour. Yeah, be on tour, and then like, you know, go back to your real life and like readjust to that, and then leave again and stuff. But you know, it's like, it's funny though, because you like, if you watch a movie about like someone that's in a band. And then like they get to the point where they get a record deal and they like go on a tour, you know, it's like, oh, that's the end of the movie, like, you know, that's the end. Like, fucking little do you know, it's literally just the beginning, you know. It's like you start getting into it and you're like, damn, there's layers to this shit. Like, this definitely isn't the end of the movie for sure. Like,
that's so fresh. So you guys are out there with OTEP, and then you guys made a big announcement about management on that tour. What happened with all that?
Yeah, that is when, so we parted ways with Chris. We had like this just weird, stupid argument. Like, we're homies now. We're really good friends. So it's just one of those things where business doesn't really work out. But that at that time, so we parted ways with our old manager, Chris, and then we told the label like, hey, we kind of parted ways with our manager during this tour, so just so you guys know. And they're like, oh, like, let us help you try to find someone, like, you guys definitely would have options. And then after that, Dez from Devil Driver and like Cold Chamber hit us up and was like, hey, I want to like possibly manage you guys. And that pretty much happened through Napalm, because he's on Napalm Records as well. And then they kind of linked us up, and then we started working with him for a while after that. But that was like the big announcement we had, was working with Dez at that point. Yeah,
that's pretty crazy, man. Dez from
it was pretty crazy because I grew up listening to fucking Cold Chamber. You know, like that was my shit. Like Rowboat was one of the first songs I like really, 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 really liked. You know, like I played that shit all the time.
Hell yeah, man. That's wild. That's big shit. Like this, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just like big truck. Like it's fucking wild, man.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. Like I said, like some of it doesn't even feel like, looking back, some of it doesn't feel real, and it's like questionable how it happened. It's like it makes you wonder, you know, like about life and like fate and destiny and shit, because it's like it doesn't feel coincidental sometimes, you know.
Right? No, absolutely, man. So your debut record's out. You're signed to Napalm. Dez from fucking Cold Chambers, your manager now. You guys are out doing several tours, constantly touring. Crazy Town, Outline and Color, a bunch of other people. What happened with the label? Like you ended up not with them, and you're on some Stay Sick Records.
Yeah. So that was interesting too. So like we did the album cycle with Napalm, and like they're a European label, and they're very helpful people. They're nice people and everything. It just, once again, like you get to the business side of things, and like it just didn't align with what the trajectory of the band was. And like they also didn't really fully understand the product that we were trying to be. So I feel like there was just a big disconnect there, and it made a lot of us disgruntled, you know. And it was only like a 1-album deal with an option for a few more, and like so we had the ability to get off of that deal. But you know, like Dez even was like, you know, I think there might be some better options out there for you, that people like that might understand the product a little bit better. And you know, we all were in agreement with that, and there's no hard feelings. Like I talk to Thomas and Sean sometimes, and you know, like those are the two people that run Napalm, and like they're still really close with me, and I'm close with them. So you know, it's like I try to always leave on somewhat good terms if possible, you know. So we kind of left from there, and they're okay with it. And then it was weird, like one day Franz like posted on IG, because people were like hating on him for like commenting on celebrities' photos, and he was like, maybe you guys would be fucking millionaires like if you guys did shit like that, you know. And I was like, fuck it, man, I'm gonna shoot my shot. And I just like shot him a DM, and like he responded, and we started like talking for a while, and he's like, yo, I actually really fuck with your band, like I've heard of you guys before. And then we kind of got to talking, and then they're coming to Arizona for a show soon. And then I was like, okay, let's hang out. And then so he gave me all access, and then I went and kicked it on the bus with him for like 3 fucking hours, and we pretty much just kicked it and like talked about shit. And then, you know, like literally a few weeks later, we had a deal on the table.
Hell yeah. So so this is like all. So then you guys, you did the EP, the Glitch Gang.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that was originally released with Stay Sick.
Right. Yep.
Like what? Like I'm just trying to figure, like put it all together. Like so that.
Yeah.
So that's
it's
all
a
going
weird
on.
story.
That happened. So now it was recently announced this year, to catch up to speed, that you guys were announced as the newest signee over at Suburban Noise Records.
Right. Yeah. And then so we're working on a new album, and we got signed to Suburban Noise. And so basically what happened was just to kind of take it back a little bit, like Glitch Gang was released during the pandemic, and like we never even played a show like with these songs yet even. So it's very fucking like fresh still. And like when we were at Stacey, they're a smaller label. It was a great platform for us, and they understood the product, and that's kind of like what our maneuver was for that. Like we knew there wasn't a ton of money in it, and it wasn't really about that. It was more about the platform that they can put behind us. And I've always seen like most Stasic bands would be upstream to a better label when they got their next deal. So I was like, okay, if this seems to be the trend, like statistically, this seems like the best move for us right now. And it worked out because we like doubled our fan base and everything. But at the same time, due to the pandemic and all this other shit, like we feel like it just didn't. And there was a lot of like just things that didn't quite pan out on the Stasic side of things either. So it was just one of those things where you're like, okay, that was cool, but like I wish we could have done more with it. Like it did chart on billboards and like all this other stuff, and it did really well, but at the same time it just felt like there was a lot of missed opportunities with it. And we kind of expressed that to Kevin, who's the guy that owns Suburban Noise. And he was like, well, let me try to see what I can do and like see if I can work with this guy and see if we can like maybe push this again. And then what wound up happening was he talked to him and he's like, honestly, I just bought the masters from him of Glitch Gang, and like we're gonna do this whole repush. I'm gonna take Virus and to radio and like really just give this a push while you guys work on this new album. And then now with tours coming back, you can tour off these songs for a little bit. And that's pretty much, where we land now. We kind of did the majority of our new record. We're kind of prepping for a few new singles. And, now we're repushing Glitch Gang, like officially. It charted again on iTunes and everything and on Billboard. So, like, it's definitely running its course again. And it's cool, the album's a year old, so it's really nice to... you think everybody's heard it, but in reality, it's like there's somebody new to hear it every day.
That's awesome. So
sorry, that was kind of long-winded,
no, you're good,
by the way.
That's good. The more you talk, the better.
We got plenty of time.
So, and I know, there's a couple of things I wanted to ask. Like, one, like, how did you end up linking up with Kevin Zinger at all? And I know, like Jared from Head PE was like a big supporter of you guys.
Yeah, dude, Jared's the nicest guy ever, low key. Like, I want to kiss that dude on the cheek when I see him. But yeah, the Kevin thing was kind of random too. I mean, dude, like everything that ever happens is it just happens randomly, like it's interesting. But so like this guy James reached out to us, and he is an A&R at Suburban Noise, and he does like a lot of marketing stuff for them, and he wears a lot of hats at that label. But he reached out and because we dropped that I Ain't Depressed song with Hacktivist as like a DIY song after we got off the deal with Stasic, because we never really got to put anything out that wasn't under a label, and we kind of wanted to see what would happen. So we did that, and then we kind of like told the world like, hey, we don't have a deal anymore, we're like doing this shit on our own. And then that's when they hit us up. And then also we had another Century Media hit us up. And then we're trying to kind of sign a deal with us too. And so we kind of had those two things balancing out. And then, I don't know, we just like vibed well with James and Kevin. And James pretty much introduced us to Kevin. And we started talking to Kevin, and we were like, this dude's like the realest fucking guy ever. We just like, it didn't feel like a label call in a good way. Like it was this, we vibed with him. He understood, like he believed in us, which is the big part of it, you could tell he did. So, and you could tell he really had a vision of what he wanted. And I feel like a lot of people didn't really have that we worked with previously. And then, yeah, so we kind of linked up with Kev, and like, I mean, dude's been a total complete badass and lived up to every piece of his word and then some so far. So It's been great.
That's the shit. Shout out to James fucking Wright, by the way. That dude is.
Yeah, man.
I
James
love that dude too.
Yeah, James is the shit, man. I mean, like I said, he wears a lot of hats at that label, does a lot of shit. So, I mean, he is the man behind the scenes doing his fucking thing.
Yeah, he's definitely good people for sure. So yeah, but that's so dope. And like, kind of like what you were talking about earlier with like, leaving the first label, because they're basically, like a metal label, and you guys have the hip hop element, which is probably hard for them to market because they don't know how to do it.
Exactly. Suburban and their fan base didn't fuck with it. Yeah, and smart, and their fans didn't really fuck with it either. You know, like the fans of that label. You know, like Suburban Noise kids and like SRH kids, like they definitely fuck with this kind of stuff. You know,
for sure. No, I love it, man. Like I'm waiting for the fucking all the advertisements to just say like there's some new kings in town because like.
Appreciate you, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's a legacy in Suburban Noise that unfortunately isn't what it used to be, but now there's some new kings in town, and hopefully you know the whole new generation of kings.
Facts, bro.
It's so odd that you guys had that name.
I know.
Landed, like,
isn't it?
Dope.
It's funny too because when we were recording the album at Kevin's studio, they had like a Cottonmouth King sticker on the back of their chair, and then there was another band called like Between Kings, and then we put like ours underneath that one, and it was like Dropout Kings. I'm like, this is literally like the most perfect thing ever. It's like,
yeah, you mentioned so Destiny earlier. Like it's almost like it was meant to be for sure.
Dude, yeah, that's what I mean, man. Like shit lines up so weird sometimes. You're like, there's no way this is like an accident, you know?
Yeah. So for anybody out there that wants to listen to the current, the Glitch Gang was re-released by Suburban Noise this year. You can get it on stream, you can get it online, and then you guys are working on the new one. Like, what can you tell us about what you guys are working on, and what can we expect from your debut on Suburban Noise? Because you know, like,
yeah. I mean, honestly, bro, I feel like this is the crown jewel of, like, everything we've ever done. Like, there's some heavy shit, there's some smooth shit, there's some, like, middle-of-the-road, like, vibe and shit. You know, like, there's a little something for everyone on there. And, like, honestly, I feel like it's truly the pinnacle of, like, what we want to do and sound like. And I feel like we really did not hold back, and we kind of just, like, went the fuck in all honesty, and kind of just really tried to do the best album that we could, you know, and we're really taking our time on it. And I mean, I got high hopes for this one for sure. It should be completely next level for at least us. But yeah, man, I mean, that's definitely what you can expect off this one. A lot of just bangers.
Gosh. Is there any, like, I mean, obviously you guys are still working on it, but do you guys have any sort of, like, tentative release or, like, a summer, fall?
Unfortunately, no. Like, we're kind of pushing this virus radio campaign right now for a while. We're probably going to drop a couple music videos from Glitch Gang, like just a couple new ones. But then after that, so, I mean, in like 2-3 months or so, I imagine we'll probably be pushing to drop another single. Like, it's about that time. We really need to. It's been a while. If it was up to me, I would be dropping a song every fucking 6 to 8 weeks, but it's not up to me.
maybe once we start getting a little back to normal. But the good news is we are getting there, and you guys are going on tour again, starting in June.
Yeah.
So hell yeah, that's the shit. I saw the tour dates popping up. We got June 16th in Oklahoma, Kansas City, or Wichita, Kansas, Ohio, Kentucky, Joliet, Illinois, Lincoln, Nebraska, Grand Junction, Colorado, Phoenix, and Rebel Rock down in Orlando. And I'm sure more probably coming soon. Now that
yeah, definitely more. We just got announced on the Head PE tour in September.
Oh hell yeah!
We're on, well, not all the dates, but most of them. Like there was some because we're playing that tour like a month. We're doing the tour like a month before then, so like playing in the same city like a month after that, it's kind of like they usually don't go for that. So we couldn't play on some of them, but for the most part, we're on the majority of that tour.
Hell yeah, that's the shit, man. So you guys will be out there performing Glitch Gang for the first time, like, so it's
bro. Honestly, it's gonna be weird that like everyone will pretty much know the shit before we ever get to play it. Yeah, so it's kind of fun. Honestly. Yeah, it will be fun. Yeah, facts. It'll be weird though. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's exciting stuff. Like, it's gonna be crazy, man, and people are ready for it. And I know, you know, with the excitement of the announcement with Suburban Noise and the, you know, the radio push, like I have a feeling it's gonna be like a whole nother fucking world out there for you guys, man. Everybody's gonna be singing along, and it's gonna be a vibe out there, bro. I'm
Appreciate
excited for
you.
man.
I appreciate that, man. I hope our paths cross here at some point soon on the road.
Yeah, hell yeah. We'll come somewhere for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know Head PE. We're in St. Louis, so I know Jared's here all the time. Usually before the pandemic, 3 or 4 times a year at least.
Yeah, fuck. I feel like we were there at least like 2-3 times a year, most like when touring was still a thing.
Hell yeah.
It's like felt like a fucking second or third home or some shit at some point.
Hell yeah. So yeah,
That in Seattle. Felt like we were fucking there all the goddamn time.
that's not a bad place to be.
Nah.
I wanted to ask you guys about the. I know. What was it? I guess 2019. You guys played the Gathering of the Juggalos.
Yeah,
How was that
bro,
fun,
that
man?
shit was crazy.
We got a go-kart.
Yeah, we had our own golf cart. It was cool as shit.
Oh yeah, golf.
It was honestly like a fucking, hopefully not once in a lifetime, but it was definitely like a once in a lifetime experience. Like, fucking like, bro, like you're walking, dude. There's so many things. I was like just walking, looking on the grass. There's just fucking thousands, possibly hundreds of thousands of empty whippet cans, just like littering the fucking ground. Like, I'm talking like the most you've ever seen in your entire life.
Oh,
And
we were there.
the
I've seen
second
it.
we
Yeah.
get,
Were you guys
yeah,
camped next to me? Jesus.
Right.
dude, for real. And then there was like the second we get there, there's a whole ass naked man on a golf cart hanging off of it. And then like we're just like weaving through the crowd, and then we like come across 2 dudes butt ass naked playing tug of war with the string tied to both of their dicks, and they're playing tug of war. And then the weirdest part was the other guy was tying the string to the other dude's dick.
I'm glad I never saw that. That's fucking.
Yeah, bro. And then obviously there was hella Fago.
Yeah.
Like, it was crazy. Yeah, like, oh yeah. I forget what band it was, but they fucking threw like 10,000 White Castle burgers into the crowd. Like, literally 10,000 White Castle burgers. And he was like,
Oh, it's probably
I
Mike
want to
Busey.
block out the
Yeah.
sun with White Castle burgers.
Fuck yeah.
I was dead, bro.
It's
It was pretty epic.
Yeah.
The Gathering's dope, man.
It was fucking
Yeah, it was
sick,
fun,
bro.
bro.
10 out of 10 would go again.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
facts.
Hopefully they have it again, man. Hopefully they have.
Yeah.
Definitely. I know everybody has a crazy experience there, so I definitely wanted to hear what you guys had.
Yeah, nah, good call, bro. Because there was definitely like the whole day was a series of crazy experiences. It was epic. Yeah, it's funny too because I'm like, they get banned almost every fucking place they go to, so they have to have it somewhere different every time.
Mhm.
Like, y'all are gonna fucking run out of fucking places at some point, but I hope it doesn't happen because that shit's sick. For sure.
Facts.
Like, whoop, for sure. Hell yeah, man. That's the shit. Fuck yeah. Let's see what else I got here, man. Yeah, I'm super hyped. So yeah, Glitch Gang is out now. You can go to dropoutkingsmusic.com. And,
Yes, sir.
and buy-
Yep.
You can buy shit. You got merch available. Support the band, man.
Yeah.
Some
I
papers.
appreciate you, man.
We got papers, sweatshirts, hoodies. All
Yes,
kinds of
sir.
stuff over there. You can check out all the super fresh music videos. It's all right there on the website. I got a playlist. We're gonna play some music whenever we're done here. I just want to go. I like to go over it and like. So like, if you have any like fun stories or anything cool about the tracks that we're gonna play, so we'll just go over it. So first up, I got the title track, Glitch Gang. We're gonna bump that one. We got Scratch and Claw. A track. The Bottle Rat track. I Ain't Depressed and Devil's Playground. So those are the tracks that we have to play.
Hell yeah. Yeah, those are good ones. Yeah, trying to think, fucking, do we have any weird, the Glitch Gang story is kind of weird, like, me and Eddie kind of did that song as just, like, whatever, and we weren't even, like, gonna maybe use it, and then I remember the guitarist heard it at the stage, and he was like, nah, we're fucking using this, like, this is sick. And then I was like, all right. And then he like made a whole song. And we were like, all right, fuck yeah, let's do it, man. So, and then yeah, like I said, with Scratch and Claw, like that was the first track we ever did as a band, and it's still like to this day the biggest song we have. So that one is definitely like special for sure. Devil's Playground, I feel like that song's cool because it was literally just me and Eddie. It's probably the chorus I'm like the most proud of from a writing standpoint on my end, at least. But yeah, it was cool because we kind of vibed out on that one, and then Cameron Mizell was like recording vocals for us, and his girlfriend Eliza Grace is like an amazing singer, amazing artist. She's a very talented person. And she just happened to be there, and I'm like, dude, it would be perfect if we could have a female perspective on this song. And she was down, and she literally just crushed that shit. So I couldn't imagine that track without her. She really made it special. But yeah, definitely love that track a lot.
Our homeboy Loki Trickster in the chat room wants to know if you guys have fedoras or cocaine.
We don't have fedoras, but it depends on what day, but we typically probably have some cocaine or know where some is located in the nearest vicinity.
You're halfway there, brother. Hell yeah, that's what's up. Well, yeah, if anybody listening live, you guys have any questions, put them in the chat and we'll ask them. I do have at least one more question for you guys because we asked all I guess the same shit.
Sure. Fuck yeah, man. I like it. I like all the questions. I like that. It was very thorough as well. Felt genuine. Appreciate that.
We're hanging out. We're making new friends, bro.
Yeah, bro. All day. I'm all about that.
This is the only way we know how to make friends. We're awkward in public.
Yeah, bro. This is how we make friends in 2021, man.
Hell yeah. But yeah, essentially, man, you guys you got 3 records, 3 albums that either like inspire you as an artist, as a man, as a person, whatever it is. Maybe it's the one you put on when you're sad and you're crying in your car all alone and you're singing, or it's the one you put on when you fucking rage, fight, and punch holes in the wall. Whatever it is, just 3 albums you could not live without. What would they be?
Bro, definitely Hybrid Theory. That album, like, definitely inspired me in a fuckload of ways. So, like, I gotta pay homage to that. Toxicity from System of a Down, that one, too. Just because I feel like that really got me into metal, and new metal, really. And then maybe even Man on the Moon from Kid Cudi.
Oh wow, there you go.
Like Man on the Moon from Kid Cudi, that one like in high school really like just hit different like when it came out. So like I definitely vibed the fuck out of that for like years and years, like my whole high school career. What about, do you have any, Chuck?
I'm like blanking so hard.
Yeah, it's hard.
Linkin
That's
Park
like,
for sure. Like
yeah.
middle school, I was all about Linkin Park, Slipknot. You know, a lot of post-hardcore bands. Yeah, I can't really.
Yeah, I would say those though.
Yeah,
for sure.
Hell yeah.
If Eddie was here, I know he'd say definitely any album except for Lasers from Lupe Fiasco.
Yeah.
Anything except for that one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Heather in the chat room would like to know if any of you are single.
Eddie's single. I'm pretty sure Rob is single and Stage is single.
Yeah.
There you go.
All the rest of us are wiped up pretty much.
For sure.
Well, there you go. Hit them up. It's a perfect time to let them know where they can find you and how they can follow you and how they can keep in touch with all the things going on in the world of the Dropout Kings.
Yeah, first off, I'd like to apologize for my dogs. They like to kill anything that walks by the house.
They sound
But you can find us on Spotify. If you just look up Dropout Kings, it'll pop right up. Same with iTunes, Apple Music. Instagram is Dropout Kings AZ. Same for Twitter. And Facebook, all you gotta do is type in Dropout Kings, will pop up. YouTube as well. Yep.
There you go.
And pretty much just any other thing you use, it's fucking there somewhere. Just put in Dropout Kings and it should pop up. Yeah.
Just search
in theory.
In theory, yeah. Go give them a follow, man. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit them up on Instagram.
Yeah, fuck yeah. Appreciate you, man.
Because it's shit's about to blow up, man, and you guys could be there early and
straight up
watch it happen, man.
Facts, man. I appreciate that.
Oh hell yeah, man. No, I appreciate you guys taking the time to hang out with us.
Of course.
Officially welcome you to the Replicon Radio family whenever you.
Yeah, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us.
No, hell yeah. So yeah, anytime you guys got some stuff going on, or the tour is announced, or the record's coming, just hit us up. Let us know. We'll do our best to get the word out, and well, hopefully, we'll see you out there on the road. You got any
Appreciate you.
Any last words or any shout outs or anything before we play some Dropout Kings for everyone to enjoy?
Thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for having us on. And we're just a bunch of dudes that are trying to make cool shit happen and show everyone else that if you just do shit, cool shit will follow, and just that's it, straight up. Just if you got an idea, fucking do it. Like, this is how this whole thing started. It was a dumbass, weird idea, and it kind of just played out, and I wanted to quit a million fucking times before we started Dropout Kings, and like, if I would have, it would have been the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. So, if you leave with one thing from this conversation, just, even if it sounds corny, like, don't fucking quit on yourself, because you're literally just playing yourself if you do that.
Do the thing that drives you.
Exactly.
Amen. That's the shit. I like that. If you do shit, cool shit will follow.
Straight up.
Get out there and do some shit, man. Whatever it is you want to do.
Yeah.
Give it a shot. Hell yeah, man. Fuck yeah. That's words of wisdom for everyone to enjoy. Again, we appreciate you taking the time to hang out with us, man. And
hey, likewise.
Our men.
Yep, thank you.
Man, there's two of you. Shout out to the motherfucking Dropout Kings all day. We're gonna play some music for everyone to enjoy. If you were listening live on YouTube, that stream's gonna end because we don't play music on YouTube.